Good evening, City of Bastrop and our commissioners, to the third meeting of March. This is February 28, 2025. It's 6 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. May we take roll, please?
Yes. Christopher Toth is not here. Keith Alborn.
Yes.
Gary Moss.
Yep.
Jeffrey Estes.
Yes.
Patrice Parsons.
Yes.
Joshua Bingaman.
Yes.
Jordan Scott.
Yes.
David Barrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Now that we've called to order, we have citizen comments. Do we have any citizen comments?
Not at this time, no.
No one wants to come in on a Friday to the city offices and speak. Noted. Thank you so much. Moving on to item 3. Moving on to item 3, items for individual consideration. We are in need to consider an act to elect the Planning and Zoning Commission chair. Do you need to say anything?
Go ahead, Wander.
So again, thanks for coming out on Friday afternoon, being so dedicated. As you know, we still step down to run for mayor, so we're going to step down as chairperson. You all have discussion among yourselves and appoint a chairperson.
Thank you so much. So I do think that as we've worked with the team over the past couple of years, that one of the benefits that we've had is that we've all listened to each other and heard each other out. So if there would be anyone who would want to put themselves up to nominate themselves, or at least put themselves up for the opportunity to be nominated, if we want to hear them out, I think we should provide a couple of moments for that to happen. We set the dangerous precedent with Judah and Ishmael previously. So
I'd like to nominate somebody.
do we want to hear anybody out first?
Well, if you nominate them, then they can talk for sure.
That's fine.
You know they want to do it.
Okay.
Mr. Jordan, I'd like to nominate him.
Thank you.
All right.
So do you want me to say a couple words?
We want you to tell us why you want to do this and what's wrong. And the other thing, what's wrong with
Well,
you for wanting to do this?
I didn't think I'd be the first choice. I'm the youngest on the board currently, and but you know I've been here a couple of years. I feel like together, even though we've switched a few seats here and there, we've seen some pretty intense discussions and gone through with the public and ourselves. We're making some pretty good decisions and big decisions affecting the city of Bastrop, and if you guys decide to nominate me, I will do my best to make sure that we as a board are a team. We are working for the interest of our city, and that we are appropriately listening to our citizens of the town when making our decisions. Born and raised here, left and came back, and I feel very passionate about what I'm doing. Never really saw myself in a position to be in any type of leadership or involved in government, but you get to a point in your life where you're like, hey, this is important to me, this is my town, this is where I grew up, this is where I plan on raising my family. So it would be an honor if you guys selected me, and yeah, I would give it my all and make sure that we're all on the same page and we're rocking and rolling.
I'd like to make a nomination, please. First of all, I think it's great you want to do it, Jordan. And as somebody that's 71 years old, I really appreciate it when someone that is younger than me, substantially younger than me, wants to, you know, receive the baton as those of us run off the field. And I really support younger people stepping up and wanting to do a good job and wanting to take a leadership position. I commend you for that. I think you're smart. I think you care, and I think you're great. But I would like to nominate David. I think David has experience as the vice chair that puts him in a little bit better position to serve as the chair. It'd be great if you would be vice chair. I don't know how we do that. I guess we do it 2 separate nominations, but that's what I would like to do. I'd like to nominate David to be the chair. Say anything?
We've had 2 other mics on. Do you gentlemen need to speak? No? Okay, cool.
Let y'all finish. I was just going to say, we just need an official motion and a second to take the normal proper process.
Yeah, fair enough. So since I asked if anyone needed to say anything, I think it's only fair that I say something. So I want to say that what I believe is that all boards and commissions should be comprised of a diverse group of people with different experiences that will question each other, respect each other, and be transparent to the public. And I think it's only important that anyone who's nominated and accepts the role of chair and vice chair knows how to have patience with the city, have patience with the city planners, and the empathy to know how to deal with both of those parties. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you very much. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, how do we do this since
Well,
we have two nominations?
Can I
got a
ask
question.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do
it's
you
a
want
question.
do you want to do
Yeah, that's my
what you were
question.
nominated?
I have no skin in this game.
I asked if you want to do it.
I
Do
will.
you have a
I
desire?
will serve any responsibility as a civil servant that people put trust in me for. That's it.
I still don't feel like you answered my question, but I hear you.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion then to nominate Jordan as chair.
Do we have a second?
Second.
There we go. So we've got a first and a second. Can we call roll?
Yes. Keith Alborn,
Yes.
Gary Moss,
Yes.
Jeffrey Estes,
Yes.
Patrice Parsons,
No.
Joshua Bingaman,
Yeah. Does it matter what I say? Is it
Kind of does.
You're on the commission.
Dang it. Yeah. Hey, I care about you. I personally. This isn't personal. If there's no skin in the game, I think Jordan should take the role. Okay.
so that's a yes.
Yes. Sorry. That's
Jordan
not easy
Scott.
for me.
Am I supposed to vote for myself?
Yes.
Yes.
And David Barrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
It passes unanimously.
It's almost unanimous. So we have one against, and then the rest are yeses. Can we move on?
Yep.
All right. So item 3B, consider an act to elect the Planning and Zoning Commission vice chair.
I'd like to
Doc,
make a
would you like to
motion.
say anything?
So
like
what
to
we're
make a
going to do
motion.
here, just to confirm, now that we've had this vote, is just confirm whoever y'all want as vice chair, just a confirmation.
Cool.
Make a motion.
Great. Gary.
I'd like to nominate David as the vice chair. He is the vice chair now.
Second.
Third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Any
you.
opposed?
That'll work.
Does that work
Yes.
legally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Moving on.
Okay, so does my chairmanship officially start now? All righty. Let's, absolutely, yeah, let's go to the next item, 3C. Consider an act on a commercial replat of the reserve tract of the Lone Star Storage subdivision to be called Sendero, being 49.78 acres, located at the northeast corner of State Highway 71 and Farm to Market Road 969 within the city limits of Bastrop, Texas.
So this is a replat. This is where the apartment, Blakey Apartments in. This was a large reserve lot, part of the original Lone Star development. As we know, the Blakey Apartments were carved out. This remaining southern section down here and below here was before y'all on December, get the dates here.
Look at the screen.
So this was before you back on December 19th, 2024. and you have the kind of the original drawing there in front of you. It really hasn't changed much. What they've done is, if you look, and we try to zoom in, we try to give you all bigger copies, because I always apologize, the copies ought to read. The top bigger lots are going to, so what they're doing is they're phasing the project. So they're backing out the center section, they're leaving as Lot 2. So now what was used to be Lot 3, 4, 5, 6, that had to be renumbered, is future platting. We'll come back to you again. So you'll have the future right-of-way, the future subdivision of that property. What they're proposing is sliding down. You can go to the bottom part. So this is what they're staying, which was part of the original approval. So basically all they're doing is reducing the footprint of what they're platting now so they can phase the development. Any questions?
Got anything from anybody?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
The question, sorry.
All right, let's go.
Can you turn the mic on?
I had it on, sorry. The problems we had at the top here with the roads and things like that, and the things we did the other night, don't equate to this down at the bottom now, does it? Because we haven't sent it through
As far as the lot coverage and all
the
that?
road, with the road issue. That will still be roads we'll have to take care of ourselves.
So these are still, so part of the original plat you looked at back, which will come, so the part that they're not platting at this time will come back to you.
All right.
Part of the original plat was Moat Way, which was going to be public. If you remember, there was a discussion when we platted the apartments, we put a road through the middle because of the
Right.
grid system. These private, everything you see in this drawing is going to be cross-access easements, will be basically private roads within a, and they're really more drive access within a commercial development.
Right, got it.
I have one question. What's this going to do to congestion? Anything? Is it going to like really make it worse? Or,
Anytime you have development, you're going to have more vehicles. You see
Right.
TxDOT is working on a turn lane there.
okay,
Moat Way will eventually be punched through over to, Blakey will be eventually punched through. So we're doing everything as fast as we can to create more traffic maneuverability, but again, it's going to take time, but with any commercial development. But Blakey will help a lot, and getting Moat Way punched back where you can get up to Blakey will be beneficial too.
I have one question related to that. I mean, we got development happening like rapid fire, drinking out of a fire hose. Is the city staffed well enough to handle all this? I mean, you talk about working as fast as you can. Are you like having to work 24/7 to get all this
Well,
stuff done?
Council saw that coming, and then that was part of Civil on board. We do everything. One thing is really beneficial, and we've got some really good staff. We're fully staffed in development service with 3 techs. We're looking for a planner to position that vacated staff. We've got a lot of new staff in engineering, so we don't have to outsource a lot of things. So, and with those staff being inside City Hall, we work together side by side. It goes a lot quicker than it does with outsourcing stuff. And one thing we do, we're real good about it, we do a lot of pre-app meetings. So as these people, individuals, developers design these projects, we're working with them in the design process. So when it comes to the review process, we've addressed a lot of the issues, and we do that weekly, daily.
Okay, so you don't need help from this commission to basically protect the staff from having to be overworked as we, approve these things. I mean, is the council the
This is going
one?
to kind of be a personal comment. I've done this for 40 years. What I need is what I see tonight that I'm not used to in other cities, that this many people can come out and support the city at 6 o'clock on a Friday. And this is what staff needs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Quick question. They were doing the traffic road impact study. I assume that's already been done? And you mentioned they were working on the intersections.
Yeah, we've already had a traffic study for the overall development.
With all the developments too, have we had conversations, or you, with the police and fire departments to make sure we have adequate staff?
Well, that's again with growth. The police is looking, I think, for one more person, and fire is always on the burner for future fire
Two more.
station response, yeah.
Okay.
But again, one thing good is what you just said is very important, but with new technology, new construction, these are new buildings, fire sprinkler system. The main thing is access is our main issue, is getting access for emergency vehicles and equipment. So you still have more population, you have more deal, but with technologies, these new buildings being non-combustible construction, being fire sprinkled, you have less of the concern you would have with an older downtown building or wood frame building.
Okay, thank you.
Another question?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we accept this commercial replat of the reserve track of the Lone Star Storage subdivision to be called Sendero being 49.78 acres located at the northeast corner of State Highway 71 and FM Road 969 within the city limits of Bastrop, Texas.
A second.
Okay. Call the roll.
Yes. Keith Alborn,
Yes.
Gary Moss,
Yep.
Jeffrey Estes.
Yes.
Patrice Parsons. Joshua Bingaman.
Yes.
Jordan Scott.
Yes.
David Barrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. With that, doesn't look like we have anything else. We
I
got
just
anything
have-
from us?
I just have one thing to say, and this is just for you guys. I really hope that everybody, when a week before our meetings, we get these packets, that we're really spending time going over it. And if we have any questions, that we call the city and ask those questions then. Don't use our time here to help make decisions, to answer very personal questions almost. Asking about staffing, that's not our job. I understand. And even he did, it's just not our job. And I just want, as we move on with it, we have a new leader.
Yep.
And I would just like to see us make sure that we are doing our due diligence of reading everything and studying up on everything, become the expert of this stuff as we move forward.
Yeah, and to his point, there's a lot of resources that we have that I use before we have these meetings, especially when we have these important projects coming up that we could see there's a lot of involvement with the public, just to reach out to them and to talk to them, whether it be the engineer, Sylvia, a couple of our city council members are really knowledgeable about development. I'm sure we all know people, or if we need to know people, we could also talk amongst each other too, as long as we're not in quorum, and pick each other's brains. We're all here to help each other out. We all care. We're all on this board for a reason, so.
And then if y'all do ever have questions, y'all can also reach out to me. If I don't know the answer, I'll get you someone that does.
Thank you. I have one request too, Jordan.
Yes.
And that is, as we continue to have these more public meetings, if you could help by keeping the public under control.
Absolutely, and that's something coming into this I thought about. We just have to make sure that we maintain order. And honestly, I think the biggest thing with people is making sure they feel heard, right? So, and that goes back to just being involved into talking to people. If we are all communicating and we make sure that we're acknowledging the public, like I said before, and they feel heard, they shouldn't feel the need to have to shout or to be disorderly like we've seen in the past few meetings before. So I have no doubt that we're going to be a great representation of Bastrop in that regard.
I have a suggestion for you
Absolutely.
with regards to operating the meeting and stuff like that.
Okay.
When you start this thing, I think we might be better off to list out just the items that we're doing for that day.
Okay.
And let people know that they need to sign up, for the citizens' comments.
Yep.
So because I think these people really get confused over the fact that citizen comments is one thing, but they can comment on each one of them, and they have to put down each one of them.
Yeah,
And
and
if you'll go through each one of them and you tell them that in the very beginning, then they understand that.
Okay, so basically when we do a call to order before we start citizens' comment, essentially we want to do like an introduction saying, hey, by the way, everybody, sign up to speak.
Yep.
Yeah, the rules of the game, especially when we have a crowd. And then here's the items that we're going to be talking about. Please sign up.
Yep.
So we're not having people are having to interrupt and whatnot.
Yep.
So I guess a couple of questions about the rules with him saying that. I've noticed that a lot of people have things to say even after we've closed the public hearing action because they hear stuff that we're talking about that. What's the best way to address that when someone wants to come and speak outside of public comment?
So I kind of got to be careful tonight because this isn't a specific agenda item, and we can add it to a specific agenda, but we've got to get to where we follow a process, and I'll get with you on one-on-one on that. It's got to be careful tonight since it's not a true agenda item to go into too much discussion about it tonight, but we'll be glad to sit down with you directly and talk
Okay,
about it.
yeah, well, I can hash that with you.
And again, I just
That's
wanted to make
fine.
that quick since we're on this subject. That's kind of our goal is if happens tonight, we have, I guess, another board members being appointed, we got a full P&Z. The staff's goal to work with y'all on some training in general,
Yep.
review processes, and then educate the community too.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else? The suggestion box is open still.
Make a motion
Okay.
to adjourn.
Second.
Third.
Is it on me? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Adjourned. Thanks, guys.